Oh, so let's get started. This is Money Consciousness Podcast, episode number 6. And today's topic is how to use auto suggestion to achieve your dream visions. And guess what? Today's book is Think and Grow Rich. My goodness, my relationship with this book right now could be at least about 10 years. And this is the very, very first book that I ever read with regards to the manifesting your dreams and desires direction. Even though the book is not about the law of attraction, I would say that this was one of the books that brought me the spark into the spiritual awakening after that, and the entire spiritual healing, you know, arena came into my awareness after this book. So yes, I have this deep connection with this book, Think and Grow Rich. And obviously it's also a very, very famous book. So I would be surprised if any of you haven't read the book who is listening to this podcast. So with that being said, we are going to focus on the third chapter in this book, which speaks about auto-suggestion. So auto-suggestion, chapter 3, which says faith visualization. So I'm looking at the book. Hello, Sony. Welcome. So faith, visualization of, and belief in attainment of desire. So here Napoleon Hill says this is the second step towards riches. Okay, so here also there is this beautiful 6-step formula that Napoleon Hill has given us through the book. And I would say this is the major, most important part of the book. If there's one thing we can remember from the book, that would be the 6-step process. And after this book, in this past 10 years, I would say I might have read at least another 50 to 100 books on this personal development category, all sorts of spiritual healing books and law of attraction books, and that huge wide space of building your consciousness kind of direction. And I can say from my experience, whatever the 6 steps tells us is exactly what is getting repeated over and over and over again. So all of these courses, classes, modalities, everything that I learned, I have these notes where I write down, books, long notebooks. And even today morning, I was just shifting pages there and looking at reading few words and statements from all of my notes. And it just came to me over and over again. This is exactly what it is, which is these 6 steps. So I'll start off now from the first one. And I'm also going to kind of share with you the way I do this, which becomes an energy protocol. By the way, tomorrow we have the very first Money Consciousness Alchemy retreat coming up. So what is the Alchemy retreat is all about, what I'm going to speak in this podcast, which is using these different energy protocols that I had been giving you through this podcasts. I guess we have discussed at least 5 to 6 different protocols. So the Money Consciousness Alchemy, we have a manual, which I call the book. So which consists of about 50 different energy protocols that you can use on a daily basis. If you make it like a morning routine to use these daily protocols, you will see your life shift and change. And even right after the retreat, I'm looking forward to, we already have about 20-25 members who have joined in the retreat. And this is also an open invitation. For those of you who would like to participate in the retreat, you're welcome to do so. You can contact me if you would like to join in. But what we will be doing during these 2 days is basically all that which we are learning, right? You have to be the energy of your dreams and desires. You can use auto-suggestion. You can do quantum jumping. You can have all of these different tools. There's no point in simply learning it. You simply have to do it, and you have to be it. So this retreat, the Alchemy retreat, the Alchemy manual consists of all of these beautiful energy protocols. And in these 2 days, we will sit down and simply do these tools, do these protocols, not learn about them. We have learned it enough, right? We have read all the books. We have done so many different courses and classes and stuff. Now it's time to do it. So that's what I'm personally practicing in my life. And I'm also bringing it to my clients and students at the Money Consciousness Academy as well. So yes, what we are going to do during the retreat is we are going to do all of these energy protocols. We are going to do the tools. We are going to be. Being is the focus of this entire retreat. So yes, you're welcome. And the auto-suggestion is also one of the protocols that is in the alchemy book as well. So that's also the reason why I'm going deeper into the auto-suggestion tool that comes from this Think and Grow Rich book. Okay, so now I'm going to read just first. So there are 6 steps mentioned in the Think and Grow Rich book. The first step is, it's called the self-confidence formula. That's what Napoleon Hill is describing it. But I would rather, it is not just a self-confidence formula. If you follow this 6-step formula, you can literally have everything that which you desire in your life. There's no reason, there's nothing left out. You know, just following the 6 steps, nothing else you need to learn. You just have to learn this, you just have to do it on a daily basis. You're good to go. That's how powerful the 6 steps are. So the first step, so Napoleon Hill says, you know, the first step is telling out loud, saying it to yourself, I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action towards its attainment, and I here and now promise to render such action. I repeat, that's the first step, and it is said that you will write these 6 steps and you will say that out loud over and over again to yourself. So let's reread that. I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself for persistent, continuous action towards its attainment, and I'm here and now promise to render such action. I hope all of you are kind of breathing it, getting it, which already just by reading it brings that self-confidence that yes, I can achieve my dreams and desires. So he recommends that you write this and you read it to yourself every day, morning and at night, twice a day, I guess. Okay, so that's the first step. The second step, the second is, so, okay, just even before I go to the second, the first one has this interesting word of demand, which is italicized, if that's how it's pronounced, which is basically emphasizing the word demand. I demand of myself persistent, continuous action towards its attainment. And I can say from all that I had been doing in the past 2 years, if you see myself succeeding, which I am, I would say I would attribute it to my daily consistent action towards my dreams. And how beautifully Napoleon Hill has kind of juicy words into it. You know, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action towards its attainment, towards the attainment of my dreams and desires. When you make a demand of yourself, that I demand of myself that I take daily consistent action towards the attainment of my dreams and desires, and when you actually do it, you cannot, there is no option for you to fail. The only path that there is towards success when you do it. I demand of myself, I demand of myself, I demand of myself daily, consistent, persistent action towards achieving my dreams and desires. And I am actually that kind of a person who, whether it is good or bad, that's how I guess I am designed. I'm designed in this way. This is who I was from a very young age as well. I had been like the topper of the class. And now when I look back, I was like, wow, looks like this formula is deeply ingrained in me even from a very young age, which is beautiful. And even today, I guess it's only increasing to the extent that I have the capacity to continue increasing that bandwidth of myself to demand of myself to take that persistent, continuous action towards the achievement of my dreams and desires. Number two, I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person. Okay, there is a lot of words there. I realize, so I'm going to repeat that once again before I explain. I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person that I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person. Of that person here refers to that person that I choose to be in my future. So, okay, now I go into a little bit of explanation of that second step, which is realizing that the dominant thoughts of my mind is getting manifested in my reality. So we also have this interesting group where I read How to Become Money workbook, which says exactly the same thing as I am awareness. So just now I just got completed with that group reading as well. So it's so fresh in my mind, which is everything that you think gets created in your reality. So when you realize that your dominating thoughts of your mind will reproduce, that's the exact word from the book, will reproduce themselves in the physical action, in the physical form, it gets manifested. My thoughts gets manifested in my reality. My thoughts gets manifested in my reality. There's no question about it. My thoughts gets manifested in my reality. If that's the case, what thoughts do I choose to have in my mind? Would I be willing to choose to think even for a minute that I'm not good enough? If I know that my thoughts gets created into my reality, I would choose to always think of the person that I choose to become. I am rich, I am wealthy, I am successful, I am an amazing being, I am successful, I choose to do this, I choose to be this, I am this person. That positive thinking about ourselves 24/7. So I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into the physical reality. Therefore, what would you do? I will concentrate my thoughts. And here he says only for 30 minutes, but I would encourage and I personally demand of myself to keep thinking myself as a successful, the future self of mine, 24/7. So, but here he is being very generous. He is asking you to do that only for 30 minutes a day. Okay, so already I'm just looking at 30 minutes a day. You will concentrate your thoughts on the person that which you choose to become, the future self of yours, the future successful version of yours, creating in your mind a clear mental picture of that person. Okay, now the third point. I know through the principle of autosuggestion, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object back of it. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of self-confidence. As you can see over and over again in most of us, this is the second step where the word demanding of myself has come up again. If there is no demand of yourself, you can join, I can tell you, you can join thousands of courses, classes, healing sessions, certifications, programs. You will achieve nothing in your life because it is not the courses, classes, certifications, and programs that you are going to that's creating the success. Instead, the demand that you make of yourself is what creates success for you. I know it's a huge pill to swallow. It is the demand that you, and this has proved in my life over and over and over again. I'm a person who has joined so many different certifications, courses, classes, programs. Every time there is some or the other program class that I'm in. But always, when I do produce results, when I am successful at something, it is only because of the demand that I make of myself. If I have made, interesting, recently I joined a class which was $300. And even before I make the payment, I'm telling to myself, I demand of myself that I make at least $3,000 this month as a result of this $300 payment that I'm making for this course. And I did it. I made it happen for the first time that month. It happened like 6 to 7 months back. For the very first time, I did make that $3,000 that month in a very amazing way. And I was surprised at myself, right? Wow, that happened. But it did not happen in the previous months. I have spent $300+ on multiple other courses. But when I made a demand of myself that I make $3,000 this month, no matter what, that's my choice. I made it. Are you making the demand of yourself? When you make a demand of yourself, you will make it happen. And every time in the past that you have achieved something, that you had been successful at something, it's only because you made a demand of yourself to make it happen for yourself. There is only one person on this planet, on this earth, who can actually make it happen for you, and that's yourself. Okay, now I come back. Third point, I know through the principle of autosuggestion, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object back of it. Therefore, I demand, or I will devote 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of self-confidence. Okay, so this is super amazing stuff. Hello, Jessie. Thank you so much for joining me live. All right, so demanding of yourself. I'm just allowing that energy to marinate so you can receive it, so you can be that energy of demanding of yourself to make it happen for yourself. Great. So step number 4, I have clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim in life, and I will never stop trying until I shall have developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. Now, this particular statement comes with a pre-written action step, which is to actually write down your definite chief aim of your life. What is it that you would like to achieve in this life? Your desires, your dreams, your visions of your life. I choose to do this. I choose to create this. I choose to manifest this. I choose to travel around the world. I choose to whatever transformation that you are here to gift to this planet. If you can gift transformation to this planet, what would that be? And write it down. In my case, the transformation that I would choose for myself and I choose to spread in this planet is the gift of money, is the gift of unlimited, never-ending supply of money. So if that's my choice, I breathe in and breathe out daily on that topic of money. What else is possible? What else can I learn and read about money? What else can I be that would allow me to manifest and make lots and lots of money for myself? What other courses, classes, sessions, stuff that I can provide for my clients, especially at the Money Consciousness Academy, that would allow them to create and make money for themselves? So that's, let's say, at least in my case, I'm giving you my example, that's my definite chief aim of this lifetime, I would say. Of course, there are other subordinate dreams and goals as well, but this I would say as my definite chief aim. So that's the word in the book. I have clearly written down a description, and you should be not just writing it down in description, you should be able to say it out loud in words, just like how I did now. When somebody asks you, okay, what is your definite chief aim in this lifetime? Can you give two statements that would describe your definite chief aim of this lifetime? If not, it's nice to take time. In fact, this is also something that we're going to do in the alchemy retreat tomorrow, by the way, taking the time to actually writing down your definite chief aim of your life. Because without you knowing your destination, where would you go? You will beat around the bush, run around everywhere, not knowing where to go because you do not know the destination. You need to know the destination. You cannot start your car without knowing where you would like to go. So you have to get absolute clarity on where am I going? What's my destination? What's the journey all about? Great. So that's step 4. And step number 5, I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing love for all humanity because I know that a negative attitude towards others can never bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and I believe in myself. Woohoo! Even reading those statements is like bringing in like a injection of self-confidence into ourselves. Beautiful words. I love that to sink in. And what that means from that 5th step is that whatever is in the highest and best interest of myself and of others and of human race, I will take that route to manifest the money, to manifest the dreams and desires of myself. So that's kind of a simple way of putting that. And then after that, those are the 5 steps in the self-confidence formula. And then he also says, I will sign my name to this formula, commit it to memory, and repeat it aloud once a day with full faith that it will gradually influence my thoughts and actions so that I will become a self-reliant and successful person. So imagine the commitment you bring in when you commit to actually writing it down, and not just writing it down, but actually committing it to memorize those 5 statements that he is telling us here. Okay. And then the last short paragraph that I've marked for today is, back to of this formula is a law of nature which no man has yet been able to explain. It has baffled the scientists of all ages. The psychologists have named this law autosuggestion and let it go by that. And we also know, those of you who might have been learning, reading different books on law of attraction and holistic healing and all of that, that it is the law of the universe. The law of the universe is that the thoughts that you think gets created as your reality, especially the dominant. I love that word. I guess it's in the, where's the dominant? 2nd step, the dominating thoughts of my mind. If there is a specific thing that you over and over again think, dominating thoughts, that gets manifested as your reality. Ask yourself, what are my dominating thoughts? If I'm thinking for 16 hours a day, what am I thinking about? Am I thinking about creating success? Am I thinking about my successful future self, the successful future that's way ahead of me? Or am I always are my dominant thoughts about my past? Is it regret? Is it resentment? Is it worrying? Is that what I'm doing? What would it take for me to make a demand of myself to have a dominating thoughts of my future success? And if you would like to take a taste of that, welcome you all to my tomorrow's retreat. Literally, I'm like, wow, I'm just waiting for myself to actually sit for 2 days and just do that. It's like, okay, great, enough of reading books. Now let's just do it. So that's what I am being, at least at this point in time. So yes, just to wrap it up, how would you actually institute it? In my case, I'll give you a quick 1 hour process that I tend to do. I do it like every afternoon, which is after my lunch, about 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. I'm just laying down in my bed. Maybe I'm just listening to some songs, or I tend to also, play a meditational music or a meditation in the background, where I close my eyes and I simply imagine my future, the future success, the future successful version of mine, all that which I choose to create. And I feel the emotions of those future as well. This is also law of attraction teaching that teaches us to actually start feeling. How do I feel when I'm successful? How do I look like when I am a millionaire traveling around the world, teaching, coaching, preaching, all these teachings out into the world? What would it feel like? How would I look like? What dress would I wear? How would I look like? How do I walk? How do I personality look like? There's no words that I can put on. My beautiful cow is in the background if you are hearing the sound. Okay, so yes, that's what I do. That's how I institute this. That's how I apply this into my life. And yes, and the retreat as well is doing exactly the same when I kind of do it. So yes. Okay, that's my recommendation. If there is one thing that you can take out of this 30 minutes of podcast that you're listening to, I would invite you to just take 30 minutes today, if possible. I tend to do it for 1 hour. Just take 30 minutes if possible, if this is the first time you're doing it. Give yourself that time to envision your success, to it's called the mind movie, as if a movie is playing in your mind of yourself being successful, achieving your dreams and desires. And this formula absolutely works. This book, you might know, it's, I guess, like 50 years or however long. I'm sorry, I might be wrong with that data there. However long this book is alive on this planet, thousands and millions of people who have used it and who have achieved success, regardless of which study that I'm reading books. This is the exact same formula over and over again, and I'm like, this is exactly what I've been learning and reading for so long. I just have to practically implement it, practice it. Daily practice of actually doing this is all that it takes for me to create success in my life. So I choose to do it. In fact, we are starting from October 4, Monday, daily practice. I call it the daily alchemy practice, where we are actually daily 30 minutes sitting and practicing this. And it is also included in the retreat, by the way. Okay, so my beautiful cow is calling me, so I'm going to run away. And I leave you with that auto suggestion, and start practicing in your mind the successful version of yourself. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jesse, for your comments. I can message you after the session, and I'm leaving you all there. Thank you. Bye-bye.